Prince Harry and Meghan are separated from the royal family. The couple wrote in a statement on their Instagram, "After many months of reflection and internal discussions, we have chosen to make a transition this year in starting to carve out a progressive new role within this institution. We intend to step back as senior members of the royal family and work to become financially independent, while continuing to fully support Her Majesty the Queen." The bushfire that occurred in Australia continued from December 2019 until the new year. An area of 47 million acres burned. At least 34 people and dozens of animals died in the fire that threatened settlements. On January 9, a deadly coronavirus appeared in Wuhan, China. The World Health Organization declared a pandemic. The virus has affected the whole world. Countries implemented quarantine. The pandemic negatively affected the economy and caused people to be locked at home. The World Health Organization announced that the epidemic will continue in 2021. NBA legend Kobe Bryant dead after helicopter crash. Sporting legend and NBA superstar Kobe Bryant has died, along with his 13-year-old daughter, in a helicopter crash in California. A total of 9 people died in the accident that killed Kobe Bryant and 13-boiler daughter Gianna. Parasite wins Best Picture, making Oscar history. Parasite ended its award show sweep this season by taking home Best Picture, making it the first non-English speaking film to win the Academy's most prestigious award. Former Hollywood producer Harvey Weinstein sentenced to 23 years in prison. Harvey Weinstein, the titan of Hollywood turned convicted rapist, has been sentenced to 23 years in prison on Wednesday in New York. Harvey Weinstein's sentence was handed down by Judge James Burke at the New York Supreme Court, twice as convicted of sexual assault. March 9, stock exchange crash. The coronavirus pandemic triggered a global recession as numerous countries went into lockdown. The Dow Jones Industrial Average suffered its worst single-day point drop ever on March 9. Thousands of protesters took to the streets in response to the shocking death of George Floyd, who died in police custody in Minneapolis, Minnesota, in May 2020. The Black Lives Matter protests emerged in 2013 in response to extreme police brutality that resulted in the shooting and murder of 3 African American men. Black Lives Matter Duzenli Olarak Karumsalar Siliga ve Siyalara Yanalik Sidite Karsi Kampanyalar Duzenli. The movement was founded by 3 community organizers and civil rights activists, Alika Garza, Patrice Colors and Opal Tometi. After George Floyd died in police brutality, thousands of people took to the streets. The protests spread to many countries. The Black Lives Matter community, a global organization in the USA, Canada and England, works for a world where blacks are no longer systematically targeted to death. The North Korean supreme leader fueled speculation that he was either gravely ill or dead after he missed events commemorating his grandfather Kim Il-sung on April 15. He re-emerged 20 days later in photos released by state media at a ribbon-cutting ceremony. Everyone doubted her life when a South Korean official announced that Jong-un was in a vegetative state. Presidential election in the USA was struggling. According to the election results, Biden won 306 and Trump won 232 delegates. Biden, with the most delegates, became the new president of the United States. Twitter said 130 accounts were targeted in a massive cyber attack on famous accounts. On the 15th of July, a number of Bitcoin-related accounts began tweeting what appeared to be a simple Bitcoin scam, promising to give back to the community by doubling any Bitcoin sent to their address. Then, the apparent scam spread to mainstream celebrity accounts such as Kim Kardashian West and former Vice President Joe Biden, and those of corporations Apple and Uber. Graham Ivan Clark, 17, is accused of hacking prominent Twitter accounts. Prosecutors and the defense argued over whether the teen's considerable assets were legally obtained. Jeffrey Epstein's alleged madam was nabbed July 2 on sex trafficking charges while holed up in a luxury home on a 156-acre estate in New Hampshire. Azia Devi Esekarisi Olarak Balinin Istilasi Bocek, Washington Iltini Izgal Eklerin Ilkez Ile Terafinda Goroldu. Iki Inse Katar Olan Boynuzlar, Ari Kolonilarinin Tamamini Sattler Isin Yoka Debelia. The big explosion in the port of Beirut was accidentally ignited by an explosion of 2,750 tons of ammonium nitrate on the 4th of August. It caused at least 190 deaths and thousands of injuries. Ruth Bader Ginsburg, the Supreme Court judge and the brutal gender equality pioneer, died on September 18 at the age of 87. She was the second woman appointed to the Supreme Court. Rock legend Eddie Van Halen, 65, died following a decades-long battle with cancer on October 6. The iconic guitarist, known for hits such as Jump and Hot for Teacher, had been first diagnosed with mouth cancer in 2000. COVID-19 vaccine rollout. The first Americans were vaccinated against the coronavirus December 14 after the U.S. Food and Drug Administration approved the emergency use of Pfizer's COVID-19 shot on December 11. The country's second inoculation, developed by Moderna, was then given FDA approval a week later on December 18, with states receiving the jab December 21. The arrival of the two vaccines, which were developed in less than a year, was touted as one of the greatest scientific accomplishments in U.S. history.